Welcome back. Thanks for joining me today. I'm taking a small detour from the go-kart build to do this small project for a family member. I have an uncle who collects World War II stuff, and he had bought this thing that doesn't really work together how he bought it, so I'm going to make it work for him. What I have here in front of me is a cap gun. It's actually a toy gun. To buy one of these, let me tell you what it is. It's a Mauser M712 Schnellführer. You may be familiar with this in movies. I see it and I thought, oh, it's a German gun, and that's true. The Germans used it, the Chinese used it back in World War II, and around that era. It was originally produced in 1896 and on. What's interesting is there's actually a full automatic a model that was produced of this, and that lies. They called this the Broomhandle Mauser, and that's where this comes in. So all of this information I got from ForgottenWeapons.com. So you can go over and check his channel. He has a really nice video just on this gun and this setup. So go check that out. He had some really good info on that. So I'm not giving you all the stuff here because this is just purely a machining video. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. But so this goes in here. Oh, that's the problem. This goes on the back here and creates like a kind of a carbine setup, because anybody who's shot in a fully automatic handgun, they're uncontrollable. So what I'm doing today is I'm taking this toy gun. It's actually a cap gun, which is kind of funny. Took me a minute to figure that out. You put the little single caps on the back here and fire away. But what I'm doing is, since this is a toy gun, it's not really made for the setup. So what I'm going to do is, it has this groove in the back, but it doesn't have a T-slot like it needs. So this buttstock has a T on it, but the gun doesn't. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a T-slot out of this slot. So I'm just opening up the bottom of that, so this can go in. And I'll also put it's got this little retaining clip. I'll put a small hole, so when this goes in, it actually snaps and holds. But once I get that in, I'll mark it and drill that. And then also, neat little thing here. This actually stores in the buttstock, but the problem right now is this little mock-up, looks like a safety latch. I'm not sure what it is on this gun. Hits it. It needs a small amount of wood chiseled out of there, and I'll just do that by hand. But so this will close and latch. So that's what we're doing today. What I got to make a tool for this. So what I have here is some W1 tool steel that I had made a end mill extension out of. That would have been a neat video to record, but that was many years ago. I got an end mill extension that I made that had broken off. I'm going to take a piece of this and create a T-slot cutter at the dimension I need. I think this is just cast zinc, so this should be, I could use mild steel if I needed to, but I got this W1 tool steel. I'll just go to the lathe and cut a chunk off, and then we'll cut some flutes into it and make a dimensional T-slot cutter. So let's get this taken apart. And all right, so I've got the tool steel mounted in the chuck. I left a good amount poking out just to give me some room to work around and do dimensions. It should be fine. I got a lot inside the chuck, and this is pretty large diameter for what I'm doing. This stuff machine's really nice with just carbide tools. I won't be hardening it or anything, right? It's just W1. What else? So what we're doing with this is I'm going to do an 1.5 inch overall, 3/4 diameter. This is 1.5 or 1.25 inches. Oh, just under 1.5 inches. 1.5 inch overall, 3/4 diameter, just to go into the knee mill. We're going to be machining down 3/8 of it. We'll machine down to that T-slot size. I will just put a small 45-degree run into that and put the T-holder. The width of the slot that I have to work in is 157 thousandths. But I'm going to do the shaft, or the small shank before the T at 140. That'll give me a little room for if I'm machining and it doesn't look like I have enough width, I can move over without hitting the shank. And then I didn't have a way to accurately measure the actual thickness of the T, so I kind of had to make a guess, and and it looks like I'm pretty close, so I'm going to make it a little bit smaller, and that way I can just raise or lower the cutter to get a little bit deeper T. That way I don't have to, I don't want to go over, I want it to be nice and tight so it slides in. We'll make it, at least this part I can make it pretty nice and true, so let's get this machined. So that fits nice in that collar. So should have made it a little longer, but I'm only making a small cutter on the end, so it should be fine. I don't know. I'm going to add about 3/4 of an inch to that. And since I'm here, that way I have some play. I don't want to have to be in there and find out I need to stick Okay, so the lathe work is done on this T-slot cutter. One thing I don't have is a collet block, so I can't put it in and cut the flutes that way. I could mark it and do that same thing, but I think it would be just as easy, since it's so small, just do it by hand. So I'm gonna just lightly hold it in the vise here and just use some needle files to cut the flutes out. I'm gonna do a 4 flute, and we're just cutting cast zinc, so a lot of freedom on the flutes. So. There it is. Well, kind of crude, but it will work. So let's cut a dovetail. A T-slot, not a dovetail. so you saw that fit. I got that fit in there. Now I'm putting the hole for the catch. Where's my cowl? This little catch is 1/8 inch wide. So I'm going to put an 1/8 inch hole, a little slot, and then I'll adjust it to make it fit just right. Okay, so the buttstock has been modified to fit the gun inside. Let's put this together. Comes out. There we go. Kind of a little long for me. Feel like I'm reaching out. Yeah. There you go. Was that a broomstick Mauser? Broomhandle Mauser, I'm sorry. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like that, go check out my go-kart build. I'm still in the process of finishing that. Hit the like and subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next episode.